When somebody says Davidoff, I already know what most of y'all are thinking. Cool water, clean, fresh, safe. But Davidoff has quietly stepped away from that repetitive fresh DNA and dropped two fragrances that are getting nowhere near the attention they deserve. Cool Elixir Safran Mineral and Cool Elixir. And after smelling both of these, I had one question. When did Davidoff start getting this interesting?
Welcome to the world of Mr. Couts. He is the ultimate fragrance guy. Get ready to experience true luxury. Remember to hit that subscribe button.
Let me start with the Safran Mineral because this one caught me off guard. Officially, Davidoff keeps the note breakdown pretty simple. Saffron Accord up top, Cedarwood Trio in the heart, and Apple Accord in the base. But here's where my nose takes this fragrance in a different direction. The first thing I get is almost mineral water type of freshness. It's clean, watery, almost cold, but mixed into the freshness is this burst of fruitiness that really brings the fragrance to life. The Apple Accord makes sense once you smell it because there's this crisp fruitiness quality running through the opening. But then this stuff starts to change. As the fruity mineral opening settles down, the saffron and cedarwood starts giving me a slightly spicy, almost cinnamon-like character. Now, don't think sweet, thick bakery cinnamon. This is more like a dry cinnamon floating through the cool mineral freshness. So to my nose, the sense developed goes from cool mineral water with a splash of juicy fruit into something warmer, spicier, woodier, while still holding that freshness. Whew, so good. That makes Safran Mineral interesting. It actually develops on my skin and you're not getting that big fresh opening that every generic same brand of freshness that is around and that you smelled 100,000 of times. Now the performance on this, you're gonna get 8 hours of longevity and then the first 3 hours is gonna be your strongest projection. So not only does it provide an interesting smell, but it also brings the performance to back it up as well. And if you're sitting there thinking, this doesn't sound like the Davidoff I remember, exactly. And that's why we're going to step right over into the Cool Elixir. Now, this one surprised me completely for a different reason, because this starts off the opening with rose, oxide, lavandin, and then oud accord in the base. Just hearing rose and oud, some of y'all probably are already getting nervous, but don't, because this doesn't just come across like some thick, heavy wood or rose oud fragrance. This is really enjoyable. They actually stepped it up, and this is not the normal repetitive scent profile that you would get. The rose oxide immediately gives that freshness, a different personality, and there is when the smoothness kicks in. And there's a mystery behind the floral, and it grabs your nose, and then the lavandin kicks in and gives you that aromatic freshness, and it keeps that feeling of a masculine feel to it. And then there's the depth of the oud that brings the woody darkness to it. So you're not just left with something that's fresh, but not like the normal booth fragrance fresh. And it's not that shower gel clean fresh, but it's floral, but I wouldn't call it a floral fragrance. And woody, but not heavy wood. It's somewhere in between all of that. That's why I keep calling this fragrance nose catching. You smell it, and there's something about the combination of rose, lavender, and darker woods that make you go, hold on. What is that? And the performance isn't weak either. It's just like Safran Mineral. You get 8 hours plus of longevity with around about 3 hours of strong projection. So you're getting something different, something people around you are going to smell, and something that actually sticks around. And that's when I find myself asking again, when did Davidoff start getting this interesting? Now, I don't understand why people are sleeping on these, but I do have a theory. I think Davidoff's biggest strength might also be his biggest problem. Everybody thinks they already know what Davidoff fragrances smell like. You see Davidoff and you immediately think cool water, fresh, aquatic, old school, and you just keep moving. But these two prove that you probably don't know what Davidoff is doing right now. Safran Mineral gives you saffron, cedarwood, apple officially, but on skin, that turns into a fruity mineral water freshness with a a kick of spice, almost cinnamon-like development, and then cool Elixir takes the rose oxide, lavandin, and oud and creates something fresh, aromatic, darker, and completely different from the normal clean scent profile. They're different, they perform, and most importantly, neither one bore me. Now, I'm not saying everybody should run out and blind buy both bottles, but if you've reached that point in your collection where every time you smell something new, you're saying, man, I already own 3 or 4 of those fragrances that smell exactly like that or in that area, these deserve your attention. Check Safran Mineral out if you want something fresh, but you want some personality behind it. You've got the apple adding that fruity crispness, saffron bringing a spice, and then the cedarwood adding some warmth and structure. And on the skin, all that comes together with this unique mineral water character that really separates it from the normal freshie. Plus, you get 8 hours of longevity and 3 hours of projection. And I would call that a hidden gem. Now, you do have cool Elixir for somebody that's looking for something more mature, smooth, and distinctive, especially if you want a freshie without falling back into that same blue fragrance formula. The rose oxide gives it personality, the lavandin keeps it aromatic, and the oud accord adds just enough darkness underneath with a splash of smokiness to keep it coming back and keep you coming back, smelling it over and over again. And again, it lasts 8 hours with 3 hours of strong projection. And that's why I'm putting these 2 fragrances in the same video. Not because they're competing, not because I'm talking about either one or going against each other. I just really feel like we all may have been sleeping on Davidoff, including myself. 2 completely different scent profiles, giving us 8 hours plus of longevity and 3 hours, roughly 3 hours of strong projection. 2 fragrances on the side of Davidoff I don't think enough people are paying attention to. So the next time you see that Davidoff name, don't automatically think you already know what's inside of the bottle, because if these 2 are any indication that Davidoff might be getting interesting again, now I want to know what y'all think. When you hear Davidoff, do you still automatically think cool water? And have you put your nose on either one of these? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'm Mr. Couts, the Fragrance Guy, helping you smell good without wasting your money. Have a great day.